Hello, and welcome to Talking Schmidt. I'm your host, Eric Schmidt.
Hello, I'm Greg Burmeister.
And what an awesome episode we have today.
Yes, very fun.
Yeah, I'm. Look at me. I'm dressed in my Gator stuff because the Florida Gators are in the Final Four.
That's right. They're playing later today.
Yeah, today we're recording on Saturday, the day that they're playing the first game in the Final Four part of the tournament. And then if they win, they play on Monday, I believe, is when the national championship will be. So very excited about that. I mean, also, this episode's not going to come out till Thursday. By then, they will have either won
hopefully
a game or two games or lost one game. Yeah. They don't get to play in a second game if they lose that first one.
No consolation game. No,
but very excited about that. I'm sure maybe like one other listener is too, so that's fun. Greg and I didn't record last week because we were in Bermuda.
Yeah.
Which was super fun. Greg, for your first time there, thoughts overall, what did you think?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Better than I thought.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it was great.
Good. Exceeded expectations.
Yes.
I thought I had sold it pretty well, but I guess I was underselling it.
Yeah, no, I was expecting it to be cool, but it was amazing.
Now, you got there a little early. You got there a little bit before because we were all kind of on different flights going there. You got there kind of earlier in the day and had to kill some time before we got there and could get lunch with you. What did you do that first day?
Yeah, it was amazing. I landed at 10 a.m. I hopped in a taxi and drove about 5 minutes to the Crystal Caves.
Oh, okay.
And it was amazing. I walked down 83 steps underground and saw these like crazy crystal formations in this cave with this turquoise water that was crystal clear. And very cool.
And tell listeners how this is interesting. I didn't know this until you told me about it, but like, how was that discovered?
Yeah, it was so back in 1907, there were these two 12-year-old boys playing cricket.
Okay.
Which is, I believe, the national sport of Bermuda.
Sport of Bermuda, yeah.
Yep. And they lost a ball. Like their ball went down this hole, and it was wide enough for them to crawl through. And they crawled all the way. This must have been an important ball, or very expensive.
You know how it is. You know, in Sandlot, you can't lose the ball, man.
Got to do whatever you can.
It was autographed by Babe Ruth. That's why they had to get down there to get it. Known cricket player Babe Ruth.
Cricketman Babe Ruth. And so they crawled down this long tunnel, and with nothing but a kerosene lamp.
Ooh.
And I guess they were swimming around the cave. And I think
at a certain point they maybe gave up on the ball. They're like, this is cool. Let's just swim. In this dark.
It was creepy. Like the tour guide turned the lights off to replicate what they would have seen, and it was just obviously completely pitch black because we were way underground.
Yeah.
And then he just pulled out a flashlight and pointed around, and it was very creepy.
Yeah, I just wonder what, when the kids told their parents, if their parents immediately went to check this out, or if they were just all right, I'm sure you're making up some weird shit. There's no way there's this.
That was a dream or something.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck? They discovered Fraggle Rock. I mean, isn't that the guy who created Fraggle Rock? Didn't he get the idea from those caves?
Oh, I don't know. That's
or the idea for the setting of it. I feel like I read that somewhere.
Interesting.
But yeah, fascinating. That part of the island really fascinating. I've still never been to Crystal Caves, but with your
highly recommend.
Yeah, there was some confusion about the price, right? Tell listeners what happened with that.
Yeah, so I got there. As I was walking in, somebody gave me a wristband, and I put it on, and then I walked up to the ticket booth. And the guy was like, so the website said it was $35.
Sure.
And he was like, $76. And I was like, terrific. So
gotta update your website, guys.
Yeah, come on. And then he just started yelling at the guy who gave me the wristband. Apparently, I could have just went right in because you're not supposed to get the wristband until after you pay. And he was like, George, how many times do I got to tell you? You got to stop giving people wristbands.
So if you go and you get a wristband without paying, just say you paid.
Yeah, skip the ticket booth.
Well, that's great. Yeah. And then, so we had lunch after everyone else got there. And then we went to the house where we were staying. And what happened is everyone bought a bottle of liquor at the airport.
Yeah, at the what's that store called?
It's like
it doesn't
duty
really
free,
matter, but
duty free. Yeah.
Yeah.
So which is nice, except we didn't need one bottle each for the
you
time.
Need like 10 bottles of liquor.
Yeah, for the time we were there, we didn't need all that much. Now, thankfully, the place we were staying, the guy that owns it, really nice guy named John, he offered to store the bottles for a future visit that we'll take out there.
I hope he locked them up so the next people that stay there don't.
Yeah, no, it's in a locker in like his part of the property.
It's not just like in the cabinet in the kitchen.
Do not drink. Like, okay,
please.
But yeah, so but man, it was super fun. You know what, Greg? I wanted to share this. When we were walking up, we went up to look at a sunset. You, me, everyone else that was with us, my mom, my sister, Ian and Catherine, BJ, Victoria, and their daughter. I think that's everybody that was there. Man, if I'm forgetting someone, they're gonna be mad. But as we were walking up, I was kind of walking behind everyone. I was taking a picture of everyone walking up there.
Oh, very nice.
I was like, man, it was really special.
Oh,
I
that's
almost brought a tear to my eye. I was like,
that was a great group of people.
Yeah, this is
Good
like
crew.
some of my favorite people. I was just so touched that everyone was there. So
very nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. And how cool is that view, by the way?
Oh yeah, the Fort Scour view.
Yeah,
so cool.
Just it reminds me of the like the lagoon where the pirate ship is in the movie Hook.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
Definitely.
The first time I saw it, I was like, "This is so rad."
like the water looks so cool.
And there's little boats all spread out in that little. It's called Ely's Harbor. Is the name
I
of
didn't
that
even
little
know
body
the name
of water.
of it.
Great snorkeling in there too. So anyway, I think we've done enough for the Bermuda Tourism Board, other than like the ticket prices, which
I just thought it was more funny than anything.
Sure, yeah. And you had a nice Airbnb, right? You had a good experience with that.
Yeah, it was very nice little like 1-bedroom apartment type situation,
and with a washer dryer too, which is really important. Helps you pack lighter. Knowing you can wash clothes while you're there.
Yeah, that was a very nice washer and dryer too.
Now, something you didn't participate in that was super fun though was we rented like mopeds. They're a little more than mopeds. They're not electric. They're gas operated, so they go pretty fast. You can get up to like 50 miles an hour.
They're pretty heavy duty.
Yeah, you can get up to like 50 or so on those things. And I don't know if this was legal what we did, but we found there's like an abandoned resort over there, which is really cool and great. There's great snorkeling around there too, and like great little beaches you can get to. But what happened is these folks built this like resort, and their plan, it was called an eco resort because it was like very bare bones, very small little. It's kind of like those things you see in like the Pacific that are like on stilts over the water,
Yeah.
You had some of those, like you could just like leave your place, get right into the ocean if you wanted. But it was kind of geared more towards like hippies and backpacker type people.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't going to be that expensive. It was kind of just more towards them. But then, Bermuda's still just kind of even though you can do it cheap, it's still it's
spendy.
Yeah. So it just it failed to attract that type of clientele. And then also it's like right next door to a farm. So if the wind blew like that way, it just
probably smelled.
Yeah, and also there's no like your windows are open the whole time. There's no air conditioning in those units, so like you're smelling it.
Yeah.
And so it went out of business
naturally.
And then the people just like fled, I guess, the owners of it, and so it's just like became this abandoned property, and it's just been slowly getting destroyed by hurricanes.
No.
So like there are these huts without like walls, and some of them missing roofs. One of them burned down.
Damn. Yeah. And one thing I learned is most houses down there are built with like solid, like thick concrete.
Oh yeah, because it's on a volcano, an inactive volcano. I hope that's what they tell me. So it's like very strong, bedrock. They like dynamite it, and then they put where the rain gets caught by the roofs.
The roofs have those like angled to like
for your
filter the water
for your drinking water, and then it's all cement.
It's like rock solid
because it does get hit by storms a lot. But man, those places survive it because they build their houses right. Now, why? Parts of America that get hit by hurricanes, Florida, look in your
New
direction.
Orleans, like prior to Katrina.
But we don't build like that.
No.
You know why? Because they want your houses to fall the fuck apart, so you got to pay them to rebuild them.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, if you had a house that like caught its own. Also, Florida gets a lot of rain. if you had those cool roofs that caught the water for you, man.
It's what, like limestone or something, which naturally filters the water.
Yeah. So I mean, they're really doing some things right there in that country. But yeah, anyway, so we were riding around, but we got those mopeds, and then we rode into the abandoned resort, and there was no one there. Usually there's like some locals like chilling at the beaches, but there was no one there, man. And it was so fun. And that someone built like a dirt bike.
Oh yeah, I saw the video of that.
Someone built like a dirt bike path, with like those really like high turns. And we were like doing all that shit. It was so dumb and so dangerous, but it was so fun too, though. So like, I don't know. Like again, I can't really recommend that because I don't know if that was legal what we did. But I mean, I did find myself in a few spots where there were signs that were like "keep out," and I was like, "Whoops! All right, let me get out of this area." But man, it was super fun. And then also we went whale watching. Sadly you left that day, but that was the day we had to do it. But they had. We saw like 60 humpback whales. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Those things are nuts. Like your mind can't really comprehend it.
Yeah, they're so massive.
Yeah, like the first, I was like had my phone ready to get like a video of one, like the first one, and it came out, and I was just like, I couldn't take a picture. I was just like, just because it was like close to the boat, you're just like, what the fuck? what is that? It's like an alien or something. It's like a giant. And I get why like old sailors and pirates or whatever thought they were like giant sea serpents. Because like I swear they have like two like backs to them. So it looks like a giant rolling thing, But yeah, fascinating to see the whales. But they only go by that time of year in the spring. So like they go to the Caribbean to like mate and have kids, but there's no food there for them in the Caribbean.
Oh, so they gotta
come back to the colder waters where there's like bigger food for them, I guess. So they go, they swim by Bermuda on their way back up to like further North Atlantic. So we learned things.
Yes,
an educational trip as well.
Very nice,
which is smart. But yeah, that was Bermuda. I mean, I'm happy you liked it. It sounds like you'd be willing to go back there.
Yes. Absolutely.
Very good. And the flight, not bad from New York. I just wish they'd stop letting the cruises go there. That's what makes going in the summertime a little annoying. It gets a little crowded, and it's also like the cruise people are the worst people. So like, so just, and then also they keep like, there's a Bermuda like airline now, and they're opening up in like the worst parts of the country. Like there's flights from like Orlando now, and I'm like, you don't want Orlando people there, man. Listen, if you live in Florida, don't go to Bermuda. You have nice beaches. You don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Bermuda is really actually not that great, if I'm being honest. Like just stay. Florida's great. Just stay in Florida. Just stay there.
Yeah, stay there.
Yeah, do your Florida shit there.
Let us go to Bermuda.
Yeah. You just stay. Like I have to tell them, they don't have passports.
Got them.
I'm wearing Florida shit. And then Greg, we had live snakes the other night. That was fantastic. You did a great job as always with the music.
Thank you.
Of course. Roy Wood Jr. was on the show. That was great. Finally closed that deal. Finally got him on there.
He was so funny. He
was great.
Had the crowd roaring.
Yes. You know what I noticed? He walked in. I said hello to him, and then he walked past me and he said hello. He did like a kind of a big greeting to my friend Ross, who is an actor, not a comedian, but does not know Roy Wood Jr. But my friend Ross looks a lot like Bill Hader.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So I think he thought it was him. We're like, hey. And my friend Ross was like, hello, yes. I just thought Roy was like saying hello to everyone after he walked in.
That's really funny.
But yeah, he did great. Catherine Zini did a wonderful job hosting, of course. Frank DiRogerio had a great set. Actually, it's funny. My friend Ross came up to me after the show and was like, that guy is really good. And he pointed it at Frank.
Hey, high praise.
Yeah, I texted Frank, and Frank was like... Frank was very happy to hear that. That's a good thing to hear about yourself, So, but the next one is hosted by Kevin McCaffrey, and Connor Cregan's gonna be on that one, and so that should be a fun time. I'm just gonna be there hanging out. I'm not hosting another. I'm on the June one. I'm not hosting one until September because I did a lot of them at the end of the year and the beginning of this year. So like I'm lucky and happy to.
Take a step back.
Yeah, take a step back for a little bit. Work on the writing.
Yeah.
I got a show in Florida. Shouldn't have trashed this.
Oh no!
Yeah, see you soon. That's going to be in May.
That's in Lakeland, right?
It's in my hometown. Yeah. Weirdly enough. So that'll be fun. Looking forward to that. Did you see these tariffs Have you seen this?
Yes.
Have you seen what's going on with these tariffs?
And the stock market.
The stonk market is,
How about
is
that?
crashing or whatever the fuck.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I saw that the 7 worst days in stock market history are all while Donald John Trump was president. Some of them are from 2020, but now some of these recent ones are getting into that top list. And I guess, like, it's funny. You hear a lot of people who maybe aren't like that extreme on the like social issues. Maybe they're like pro-choice. Maybe they don't really care that much about whatever the hell trans people are doing. But they'll be like, well, I vote Republican because of the economy. You'll hear that sometimes. People will be like, well, I feel like the economy does better when Republicans are in charge. And if they're my age, I just want to slap them,
Yeah.
Because, like, in our lifetime, it has crashed 3 times.
Yep.
Bush, Trump, and now Trump again. Like, what? Like, this is a myth. We no longer need to say this. Also, like, Hoover did the tariffs thing back in the 1920s that caused the Great Depression. Like, I mean, that's maybe a higher level.
Yeah, but history repeats itself.
History does repeat itself, but like, you just don't have to be that knowledgeable about history to know that, like, Bush, Trump again. Like, what? I mean, like, listen, I didn't like Stinky Joe Brandon or whatever his name is.
So stinky and tired.
Yeah. Oh, sleepy. Yeah. Sorry. He probably doesn't smell that great either. I'm not a huge fan of that guy's either, but, like, the planes weren't falling out of the damn sky and the stock market was fine, which, like, again, also as like a somewhat anti-capitalist, like, I don't like the stock market. I just, like, that's not the only indicator of a strong economy, and it shouldn't be. We should focus more on, like, how the very poorest of us are doing and how the middle class is doing. That should be the true marker of, like, how good an economy is. But the people who do think that the stock market is a big indicator, it's like, well, good job, dumbass. You fucked it up again. So I don't know.
Not gonna lie, I kind of liked the massive dip in the market in March 2020 because I wasn't,
you knew it was coming back.
And I wasn't really into stocks at the time,
but it got you into it.
Exactly. Yeah, I started buying a bunch when everything was really low.
Yeah,
so that worked out.
A lot of people did that, but I know a lot of people. Some of my older, like, cousins are, they're kind of getting near, like, retirement age, and so this is really, like, fucking up their
I've been looking at my
401ks.
I've got a couple 401ks, and I'm checking them every morning. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Are they okay? Or?
Yeah, they're actually okay.
Okay, good. Well, that's good. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it's just like, what'd you expect? Like, what the fuck?
What are we doing?
And, like, Andrew Yang, I like a lot of his stuff, but obviously I disagree with him on some things. But, like, Andrew Yang pointed out, he's like, markets like stability, and Trump is not stable.
A wild card.
Yeah, he's completely fucking nuts. Like, so, I mean, maybe boring Joe Brandon was like a better thing.
Smelly
for it.
Boy Joe.
So smelly. Oh man, I don't know. What are we gonna do, Greg?
I don't know.
Well, let's. We have no advice. We're just trashing everyone. That's what we do.
Everyone sucks. And smells.
I don't want you to think that we're, like, one-sided.
Yeah.
We're no-sided.
No.
Yeah.
We don't like sides.
No. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for listening. Catch you next time, and go Gators and free Luigi Mangione. Talking Schmidt is recorded at Burmeister Studios in
Astoria, Queens.
Opening music is by Greg Burmeister. Closing music is by
Greg Burmeister.
Our intern is Jason Travis. If you like what you've heard, please like, follow, and write a review for us wherever you listen to podcasts. If you didn't like it, please keep listening to it, but keep your opinions to yourself. If you really liked it, you can find bonus episodes over on our Talking Schmidt Patreon page. Membership is just $5 per month, and it goes a long way to buy us the equipment and bourbon we need. Thanks in advance, and hope you're doing great.